I love the story of how you got the role of Daisy, so can you share it with us?
Yeah, it was kind of a whirlwind, actually, the whole thing. I didn't know until about 3 days before that I was going to have an audition. My agent called me and said, have you read The Great Gatsby? And I said, no, I've heard about it so much, but I've never read it. And he was like, read it and get on a plane and go to New York. So I went to New York and I had 2 auditions with Leo and Baz over 2 days. And then I had the 3 longest weeks of my life whilst I waited for the phone to ring. And I got a phone call at an event in New York, and it was Baz.
And you actually got it from his wife, who is the costume designer.
Yeah, and I had been sitting opposite her at dinner all night, and she hadn't looked at me.
Did she know the whole night?
She knew, and I didn't, and I was like, oh, well, she's not looking at me, so that must be really bad news. And then as I was trying to leave the room, she came over to me with her phone and was like, someone needs to talk to you, someone needs to talk to you. And I was like, what? And it was Baz.
That's amazing. One of my favorite scenes is when we are first introduced to Daisy. It's so whimsical and it's so short, but it explains so much about her. How was it shooting that scene?
That was, it was a funny one because that was the one I was almost most anxious about because it establishes her character. And those sort of 3 little scenes right in the beginning sort of establish her, and then she goes away for a long time. So I wanted to get it right. And it's such a great entrance in the novel. But it was fun. Baz had these huge flowing curtains. He was playing music and he had these curtains whipping around the room and he kept on wrapping Toby in them, and it was kind of chaotic and, you know, an average day on Gatsby.
She has this line, I hope she'll be a fool. That's the best thing a girl can be in this world, a beautiful little fool. All the bright, precious things evade so fast and they don't come back. And I loved it so much that I was writing it down in the dark in the theater.
Oh, really?
And I just thought that it just revealed so much about her character. What would you say about Daisy's character?
I think she's a real mix. I think she ultimately doesn't really know who she is, and some of the time she says things sort of to say them out loud or to get a reaction, you know. I think she likes, I think in that scene particularly, I think she means it. She does mean that, and she does feel sort of empty and does feel that her value is just to sort of look pretty, but I think also she likes getting Nick to feel sorry for her.
Right.
She likes presenting this idea of herself being a sort of tragic figure, which is partly true, but you know, I think she kind of enjoys that a little bit.
And ultimately, within the story, Gatsby has this grand vision for his life. So I was wondering, looking back at your life thus far, how would you compare your life to what you originally always dreamed your life would be like?
I mean, that's the thing. I always dreamt of being an actress, and I always, you know, I wanted to be a theatre actress, and I really kind of almost wanted to be a struggling actress, you know, in this sort of romantic way. And I've been so lucky, and so many people have been so generous to me and given me so many opportunities. But I was sitting in my hotel room the other night before the first day of this junket thinking, and there's a billboard of The Great Gatsby outside my hotel room, and I looked at it and I was like, this is surreal. And it is. I can't describe how surreal it is.
Was it here at the Plaza too?
No, it's downtown.
That would be even more insane.
I know, that would be crazy. But yeah, it's surreal.
Made in Hollywood.